As some of us are reading through or listening through the Bible this year, it's interesting that our psalm for today is Psalm 33, which really ties in beautifully with our sermon from this past Sunday about creation and God speaking creation into being in the Garden of Eden and creating humanity and all the living creatures, because Psalm 33 is about God speaking creation into being. Our verse for the day is verse 9, which states simply, "For he spoke, and it came to be. He commanded, and it stood firm." And again, this is an affirmation of a theme we see from the beginning of the Bible through to the New Testament. Uh, in Genesis, we're told that God speaks creation into being. We hear that affirmed here in Psalm 33, which also reminds us that God loves righteousness and justice, and that the earth is full of the steadfast love of the Lord. That's Psalm 33, verse 5, which basically affirms God's good intention in creating creation. It's a place to be a place of righteousness, justice, and steadfast love. And it's by the word of the Lord, Psalm 33 says, that the heavens were made, and all their host by the breath of his mouth. And if you think about your physical Bible, Genesis is the very beginning. The book of Psalms is pretty much in the middle of the Bible. And then if we step forward into the New Testament, we hear in the marvelous prologue of the Gospel of John in John chapter 1 about how God speaks the Word and creates everything through the Word. And so speaking, the power of God's speech to create, to initiate, to bring to life is a hugely important biblical theme. And Psalm 33, in talking about the greatness and the goodness of God, goes on to say after verse 9 that the Lord brings the counsel of the nations to nothing. He frustrates the plans of the people. The counsel of the Lord stands forever, the thoughts of his heart to all generations, which is making the case that while the plans and desires of rulers and those in power and authority, they have a significant influence compared to the counsel of the Lord, they are nothing and fleeting. And verse 12 of Psalm 33 affirms, "Happy is the nation whose God is the Lord." And we want to make sure that we're not just claiming the name of God or just saying a phrase like, "In God we trust," without truly placing our trust in God and seeking to live with the righteousness and justice and steadfast love that God calls for in the creation that God has spoken into being. May we live in the manner that gives glory and honor to God.